All right. Hey, guess who's here? Welcome back to Maybe It's Me, where I talk about everything on my mind to decide whether it's me or the majority agrees. Oh my God. First thing first, I just want to say thank you for all of the support that I received this past week. I didn't think I would see people showing themselves listening to it, let alone posting it. Throughout the past week, I've been scrolling on social media, whether it's Twitter or Instagram, and I was seeing people I never would have thought posting about it. I received countless positive feedback, and let me tell you, I was so nerve-wracked. Nobody talks about when you're doing things that coincide with your passion and how scary it is when you actually take that step. What surprised me the most, however, was one of my favorite inspiration. No other than my high school English teacher, Miss Woods, saying that she's so proud of me in the podcast. Ugh. Let me cry real quick. 1 second. Okay, I'm joking. I'm joking. But I was just so amazed. Even my favorite coworker, she shared it with someone she wouldn't mention, which put me on edge since so many names popped up. And she told me that he was very receptive of it. Hmm. So let me tuck my hair behind my ear. But anywho, nonetheless, thank you, thank you, thank you. Do you guys want to know something funny? Okay, I never have a drawn out plan of what I would talk about on here. I have so many ideas, but they didn't do enough for me to bring them to light this week. So, before discussing another topic in a new episode, I feel that it's crucial for me to introduce myself to you all. It brings me chills revealing details about me to public. I am a very reserved person. I hate anyone knowing anything personal about me. If you have yet to meet me in person and just off the internet, my name is Trey Munns, but my nickname is Trey. For the people who believe in astrology like me, my big three are Pisces Sun, Capricorn Moon, and Leo Rising. Such a complex trio. I'm 22 years old, born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia, and I've lived there my whole life. As I look back on my childhood, it's clear that my parents recognized my unique interests from an early age. I didn't fit the stereotypical mold of a boy who spent his time playing sports, nor did I show interest in playing with Barbie dolls. Yes, I'm throwing shade at you, Judge Judy. Instead, I was always drawn to the world of gadgets and games. Whether I was tinkering with electronics or immersed in digital worlds, my passion for technology was evident from the start. My all time favorite games would have to be SSS Tricky and Guitar Hero. If you guys don't know what SSS Tricky is, your childhood was whack. Like, you don't even have to tell me anything else regarding how you grew up. You just have to know the game. Like, it was one of the best snowboarding games ever. And me, I was never into sports, but that game, I wanted to be a pro snowboarder. I just thought you could do flips, back back flips, splits, spin the spin the board in the air and still come down. Everything just in slow motion while you in the air. I thought all of that was possible. Looking back on it and seeing something so simple, but being a child at the time experiencing it, oh man, it was awesome. Let me not even get into Guitar Hero. I feel like that was the foundation of my love for music. I would play the same songs for hours on end because the composition was beautiful to me. I even repurchased Guitar Hero 3 in high school on a whole new console and finished it the same night because it was just such a great game for me. I still listen to the same songs since I was 6 on Apple Music and Spotify just because they're great songs. Like, come on now. Anywho, gadgets were my escape from reality. I've always had a complicated brain, which was so bad for me as a child. Imagine being a little child having an existential crisis over death. I would go to sleep crying almost every other night because the thought of death was so triggering to me and wouldn't go away. My mom tried to help me and she would offer me to sleep with her, thinking it would help, but no, I would rather just suffer silently to let her sleep. Both parents raised me in my early childhood, but later only by my mother. I feel like my father set the foundation of what guys are and can be if they don't take the necessary actions to heal. Just to give a little keynote, my father is an Aquarius, by the way. So, yeah. To describe my father with only one experience, um, I would have to go back to my 20th birthday. Let's repeat 20th birthday. At this point, I was over him in any relationship I could have had with him. This man comes to my house and says he has something for me. I mean, even though I don't like the guy, you think I'm going to turn down a birthday gift? Come on out. So I greet him and he smiles, saying he's proud of me, hyping my birthday up, making me feel real good and special inside. So I'm kind of eager to see what this gift is. Maybe it can atone for his past actions. So he get the gift from his pocket, pulls it out, hands it to me, and tells me happy birthday. Do any of you guys want to take a guess of what the gift was? I'll give y'all a few seconds. I bet all of you were wrong. This man pulls out 21s. 21s. Yeah, okay. I could apply the same aspect for my mom, but she's the one who raised and put a roof over my head. So for that alone, I'm forever grateful and I won't speak on it for now. I can't count on how many times I've apologized for being a child, doing child things, or hurting feelings I can't grasp. The bigger person was always me, no matter the situation or if it genuinely calls for it. I was never an evil child. My problem was that I always had an opinion. I was the child who would ask why and question the rules and authority at hand, which didn't go well. Curiosity kills the cat, and it definitely harmed me. Being an only child with no social environment at home, I extended my personality to the people I liked at school. By default, I became the class clown and yapper. I was never not in trouble for talking in class. During middle school, we had a behavior system called Class Dojo, where you would get positive or negative points based on the things that you would do in class. You'll get rewarded at the end of a certain period. I think it was every semester, whether it was microwave breakfast sandwiches, cupcakes, pizza, something. It was always something. The negative points would have this distinct doom sound. And you would immediately know someone's in trouble or someone just got caught. I honestly would like to know how many calls my mom received based on my talking in class. I'll probably ask her today. But little did they know I was actually perfecting my passion in life. Like, what? Come on now. Give me a break. Elementary school was cool. The only problems I can genuinely remember at the time were the book festivals and the reading marathons. Those were two distinct, significant moments then. I feel like at that point, if you had Dork Diaries and Diary of a Wimpy Kid and you purchased it at the book festival, you were a hot commodity. Like everybody wanted to be your friend. Everybody was around you. It was just such a weird. You know what? Never mind. I take that back. We were kids, so yeah. But shit just started getting weird when I moved to Lakewood with my grandma and started going to Slater in my 5th grade year. Eventually going to Price. I remember it opening my perspective that life wasn't just rainbows and lollipops anymore. Being meek and Price was just an oxymoron in itself. It was just such a weird experience overall, and I hated it. Oh my god, I hated that school. I remember I was on the bus going home starting fall break right. I had recently started being very cordial with this guy. We often talked, and there was nothing weird about it. This one day, however, he jokingly brings up fighting me. I'm kind of taken aback, but I joke back saying, "Oh, he won't fight me." We're laughing at each other, and his bus stop is after mine. Okay, so eventually, it's my bus stop, and I get off, do my usual routine, and walk my street home. But he also gets off. I think nothing of it, and I continue to walk. Tell me why he's walking up my street, but on the opposite side. I have no street smarts and no perception of anything. I think, oh, he must have family up this street. Okay. Uh, as I approach the end of the street, I make a left turn, and as soon as I make that turn, boom, a punch. I get punched not only by him, but also by his brothers. I'm over here guarding myself, and I'm just getting jumped. I kid you not. My neighbor is in his truck just watching, not saying or doing anything. Mind you, my neighbor is a good 6 foot black stock built nigga. I think he played football in his earlier years. So yeah. I'm just like, wow. They didn't do much damage to me, but it's just the action that threw me in for a loop. Long story short, he went to juvie, and I had a restraining order per my mother. Yeah, no. I hated middle school and its shenanigans. High school was where I started to realize my identity. To be clear, I've always had a toxic relationship with my self image throughout the years of my adolescence. I was so self conscious that I didn't think I was worthy of praise or recognition. I never told my family about any award show graduations, and if they found out, I would strongly advise them not to come. The only time I the only time I remember receiving praise from my family was my senior graduation. And that's only because it was a surprise and it being COVID-19, so I had no choice. Throughout high school, I give tremendous respect and flower to 3 teachers: Miss Woods, Miss Shine, and Miss Magistra. They all saw me go through the high school troubles in many ways and opened their arms up to me in the best way possible. Participating in a dual enrollment school, Carver Early College, by the way, you would get the underlying tone that what you're doing isn't good enough because you'll have peers making a 3.89 or a 4.0 and cry if they get a B plus. Even to the point that you can ask those same peers for help, they wouldn't help you, but if you're the one who knows something and they don't, guess what happens? Yeah, okay. During my senior year, I was so anxious about what college I wanted to attend to that I was stuck on Howard or Hawaii Pacific. When reflecting on it, my heart was drawn to Hawaii Pacific, but I knew that it wouldn't be perceived as an accomplishment in the same way as Howard. I've always dreamed about going somewhere where nobody that I knew was at. I've always dreamed about going far away and leaving where I live at. It was just always a big dream of mine. Honestly, I didn't even think I would be accepted in any of the schools. My grades were average. I graduated with a 3.3, didn't do any sports, and I did not participate in organizations. I was bland at best on paper, so I was surprised, to say the least, that Howard accepted me with a scholarship. I genuinely feel that my essay gave me the green light. I remember putting my all into it and having Miss Shine and Miss Woods read it continuously. Again, thank y'all so much for that. To put a pin to the fairy tale bubble, I didn't end up going. As you all know, COVID happened. I was stuck with online classes and working a job simultaneously. As I juggled with two balls, I just had to add a boy into the equation. This boy was also a Pisces, so I fully agree with the Pisces men slander. He treated me like shit, to put it nicely, and would always allude to sex whenever I was around him. I put this on my life, my mother's life, and God Himself. If a man reaches your thigh and you tell them no, and they proceed to make an advance after your wishes, isn't that considered coercion? Okay, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Yeah, maybe it's me. I had a gay best friend at the time, and it would be my last because of this. I confided to him, telling him I felt uncomfortable with him making advances to me. Immediately after, he tells me that I should leave him alone. He's weird, the usual best friend talk. Eventually, I made more gay friends through my first year of college. Another mistake. And I ultimately got closer to them and told one specifically about the altercation. He tells me how they used to talk and how he would do similar things. So tell me why. Time didn't even pass much after that. They argue, and my friend brings up what I told him confidently. He tells him that he was begging to fuck me as a get back moment. My friend shows me the argument and everything that happened, and I was so confused. I asked him, why did he bring me up, which made him apologize. The guy, however, he's pressing the issue with me, insisting that I'm spreading lies. Still to this day, I have proof of everything that has happened. Eventually, what I confided to friends is now brought onto social media, and I feel as if I'm forced to. Eventually, what I'm confided to friends is now brought onto social media, and I feel as if I'm forced to speak my piece. Sadly, things turned worse after that. Mm-mm-mm. Friends who've had conversations with me for years insisted that I was lying for clout. Mind you, the nigga had no followers, no momentum, nothing. Just a pretty face. And I'll keep it honest. This man went to my best friend and asked him about it. And he said that I never told him that he coerced me and didn't understand why I was making it up. I'm just so dramatic and childish. I always put everything onto social media. Ah, mind you, his mother had just died, and I honestly shared empathy and cared for him as a true friend. So this was heartbreaking to see. I went to my best friend at the time and asked him, why would he lie? And he told me he honestly didn't give a fuck and he had too much going on to care about what's going on with me and proceeded to taunt me with people who previously didn't like me because of the boy. Mind you, one of them called me fat. Not to be funny. I'm gonna be funny. Just this one time. I'm gonna be funny. If you was to compare me and him and our weight sizes, I'll just end on that one. So I was so worn out from that situation, working and having classes that didn't inspire me, like Russian 101, writing essays and papers, not even speaking Russian, just the foundation of Russian. Oh my God, I was so over it. Ultimately, I gave up. My family told me to keep pushing through, but I couldn't do it. Something had to give. So I chose Howard. I bullshitted the rest of the semester. I had no one to talk to, and I stayed in my room for the majority of that year. Depression was an understatement. Life has a funny way of teaching you lessons, but I wouldn't change them for the better. 4 years later, I decided not to let past events undervalue my God given gift. I look back and I think, God, I'm changed, and those situations happened to me. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. No matter the obstacles and restrictions placed on you, they do not define your future. I'm still growing, and I'm not perfect at all. I'm still a mess. Being 22 makes me realize that life isn't over. It's just beginning for me. Hopefully, this podcast makes the statement a little bit more handy. Whew! That was a lot, but thank you for tuning in on my summarized introduction. I appreciate you all so much and hope to see you all again next week.